Well, I've heard of these elderly people scams, and I got a call today. So the person calls, and it's like they can't even talk well, and they've supposedly broken their nose. They've been in an accident, one of my children. But I realized afterwards he said grandchildren. So if it was a man, and my grandchildren are all under, the age they could drive, and they're all girls right now. But, in the heat moment of it, I was thinking child, and the person just said the wrong thing. So, all this stuff, oh, I'm in such trouble, they arrested me, blah, 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 took me to the hospital, now I'm out. And they actually gave me a name of the lawyer, the phone number, and the case file number. And so finally, I realize what's going on. And I say, well, do you want me to call your wife? And they say, oh, no, don't call my wife. Please don't. The person made me promise not to tell anyone about this, the legal aspects of this accident. And so I said, well, do you want me to tell your wife? Want me to call your wife? She says, oh, no, please don't tell her. And it's like, well, I have one son that it could be, I knew it wasn't the other son, but one son it could have been, and it wasn't, because he would never say, don't call my wife. he would be saying, I did call my wife. And he probably wouldn't be asking me, this old fuddy-duddy, age 70, or to call some lawyer for him, Obviously, if he had broken his nose, been in the hospital, and arrested, his wife would already know something was out by then. But the thing, and like I say, he gave me this name, this number, phone number, and then a number that looked like a social security number, but he said it was the case number for the accident. So, but anyway, obviously it was a scam. This guy, you've heard of these scams where people call up and they end up giving money to someone without checking to see if it's one of actually their children. There was one case where this one guy had lost quite a bit of money bailing his grandchild out of jail, and he didn't have a grandchild. And another one, that hit the news too was, it just wasn't the grandchild. And, the person thought to call the real grandchild to find out what was going on, and it wasn't them. So, just bizarre. And of course, the thing is, this accident, the person can hardly talk, so they're probably in a lot of pain and all these different things, so it really amps your emotions up. So you're not thinking as clearly as you would have with a clear mind. But, as I'm talking to them, it finally becomes very, very apparent that this person is just a scammer. So, but I did, just in case, I called the person who I thought it could have been, and it wasn't them. So, if you're old, be very careful of anyone calling you and telling you that one of your children or grandchildren are in trouble that can be solved with money. Usually it's going to be a legal problem. Some of the scams go out of the country where they say, oh, I'm locked in a jail in Mexico, and the only way I can get out is I have to come up with this X amount of money, or different things like that. And the people, it's such an emotional experience that people don't stop to think, well, wait a second, let me call my child and find out, or my grandchild, whatever, or have this person reveal their name. This person wouldn't tell me their name. I finally said, what's their name? And when someone's calling you and it's one of your kids, you're not going to say to them, who are you, usually? And you figure in this broken nose and all this stuff, they may not sound the same. But now in retrospect, during the end of the conversation, I started picking up that he had an accent, and that wouldn't be one of my kids would have an accent like that. So a scam, old people scam. Just remember, check to see if your relatives or your descendants, your children, grandchildren, whatever, actually are in trouble before you start, giving away money to get them out of trouble they're not really in. Bye.